Record. What up, tube? I'm gonna turn the tree around next to you guys so you can see it right now. Oh, excuse me, Tannenbaum. Yes, that's what I was singing. Old Tannenbaum. Old Tannenbaum, old Tannenbaum. You are in fact a Tannenbaum. Old Tannenbaum, old Tannenbaum. Oh yes, you are a Tannenbaum. You've grown into a Tannenbaum. And with this I will sing this song. Old Tannenbaum, old Tannenbaum. I don't know why I'm going around the outside edges of this just to do it. More really to make me feel good about making this into a Tannenbaum. That's about all the singing I'm going to do, unless I think of another song, of course. But I'll try to keep it at a minimum. I did a piece. Actually, I did two pieces just recently, but one was a piece that was done underneath, which we'll do an underneath piece here soon, I promise. But when I did that underneath piece recently, I posted it. It was one of the. I think I posted it before I posted the top piece, really. And it's kind of funny because I posted it and I didn't really think about it at the time, timing wise or whatever. I had just made the piece. Yeah, we can see these colors are really runny today. Is why I'm trying to get rid of them. I had just made the piece, so I wasn't necessarily like, "Hey, what's going on with this, that, whatever? How's it going to work out for me here?" But yeah, it was just something I had made for myself. And when I made it, I didn't really think like, oh, I need to make sure that there's colors that are going to work, for this, that, whatever together. I was just kind of making a piece. So I was just throwing paint onto the surface, just to see what would happen. The paint that I threw down, a lot of my just leftover paints that I own, which is what I've been working with lately. Kind of this end of the bottle, you can see like I'm opening some of these bottles up to try to pour the paints out. I'm being super careful with this one because it has a marble inside. I don't want to get the marble on it, I don't think. There we go. There's some color being added into this. Probably could have waited on this color now that I think about it, but okay. We don't think, we paint. So back to my story. This ADHD mind. I'm pouring all these paint colors out, doing all this stuff. And I posted it, like I said, just recently. As a friend, it's a good friend of mine, good enough, decent enough friend. Someone I've known for a couple years. Shared experiences, etc. So, I'm going to trust their opinion on things. And, they're a nice person. This isn't like a 2 a.m. friend, I don't think, but maybe, I don't know what they're doing at 2 a.m. usually, and if their phone's on. I know I'm taking another side quest, but I got to take this one. I just watched a video that was like, "What friends can you call at 2 a.m.?" And I'm like, ooh, not a lot of them, because if they're anything like me, their phones are like on silent or off. I mean, I can call you. You can call me at 2 a.m. I'll get back to you, at 5 when I get up. But I will get back to you right at 5. So, but yeah, enough of that said. She's a good friend. Um, but yeah, when I was watching this thing, I was like, yeah, what friends can you call at 2 a.m.? I'm thinking about that. And this friend here now is popping into mind because the friend was like, you know what? You should put some Christmas colors on there. And I stopped for a second because, one, I'm not really a Christmassy person, but, I get it. 'Tis the season, ho, 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 Santa, all that. But then I was just kind of like, well, what are Christmas colors? You know, um, blue probably is not a Christmas color. As I add bits of it into, parts of this tree here. I mean, y'all know what I'm doing with this. You don't? Okay, well, I'll let you know later. Blue probably is not a Christmas color. Any blue in here? Let's see. But I do remember blue lights. I'm trying to remember like my Christmas trees really growing up, and yeah, you had blue lights on there. There weren't a lot, but there were blue lights. I don't remember a lot of purple lights, as I had purple, but maybe there were purple lights. Red, yellow, green. Some reason I'm calling blue. I remember blue lights outside actually. I'm getting on well, I know why, but yeah, I do remember blue lights outside when I would go with my mom and put them up. You had those giant bulbs that went outside. The supersized ones versus your regular tree bulbs or whatever you call them. I don't know if we put those bulbs up because they were like weather resistant or they were supposedly bright. I'm not real sure what the deal with what those bulbs were, but they were the cool bulbs. This giant monstrosity of bulbness. And yeah, I remember putting those outside, and there were blue ones there. I don't remember purple ones outside, but and really there wasn't a lot of green bulbs as much as the tree was green, the ribbon was red. Which I don't use a lot of red. Maybe that's the thing. I know there's like a darker red that I added into that there. And I'm going to see if I can squeeze a little bit of this red here onto the surface. Got to stir this a little bit more before I do that. Shake it a little bit more. Shake. The advantage of the marble is that it acts as a stir, for your bottles. And, you guys will see when we start. Maybe this will be like the 2026 project is we'll do a couple of videos on mixing paints beginning of the year. But you'll see, you don't really pour, new paint into old bottles. I mean, you can like wash out the bottle, which I may try to do with a lot of these. If I'm using like a base color. Ooh, I use 3 marbles. You never want to do that because you might break a marble, supposedly. But yeah, you use your marbles and then you'll get whatever sort of paint color and use that also. Am I almost out of glow paint? See, it's when I run out of glow paint is when I'm like, okay, Derek, you need to make some more paint. When I'm out of my glows and my glitters and all my fun stuff, quote unquote. This is a white glitter, I think. And some of these, like, I'm just using these now because I almost fear that I am out of the ones that I want to use. So it's like, all right, well, what can I squeeze out of something? invent some of these paints to, give me a little something. To, you know. I know, like usually I don't break into these as quickly, but desperate times, blah blah blah. Start running low. So these are some of the ones that I actually mixed over the year when I did a couple canvas pieces, and earlier this year. And I'm just kind of throwing in, little bits of the globs of that on top because, hey, I know that these here, since they're mixed, I might have a little bit of something I can make happen out of that, because basically, yeah, what I want to do is I want to just make it into, a design that, this is going to move past whatever's on the canvas and give a new form of expression for me here. This is my tree. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. This is another lonely Christmas, in a sense. So, as I work my way through my paints, I'm about at the point of, hey, I can start looking at yellows were used. That was definitely a Christmas color. And golds. And I have a little bit of gold here. I can swipe with gold. Ooh. Come back to you for a second. Come back to you for a second, because I'm almost thinking like I could, mix this up a little bit and then just like swipe up the gold. That might be interesting. Let's try to do that. Where's my swiper? Where's Mr. Swipe? Mr. Swipey Swipe. Are you a color? What are you? I've already put you on there. Okay, I'm losing a lot of paint, so if I'm going to do this, I got to do this. Which I'm going to do this first. Of all the places I could have put that, I know. But it was just like, oh, this corner's like kind of empty. Let's put something over here too. And you know what? This could be a total failure because I don't really swipe with the colors just straight from the bottle. I usually make up a special swiping color. If I'm going to swipe like that. So, now. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're just experimenting at this point. We are straight up experimenting. This could be wonderful or this could be terrible. We don't know. We don't know. We are just, the beautiful thing with art is you can try something, and if you don't like it, you can always move around, take the shit off, try again. There's room for exploration. I mean, I do actually kind of like this. Weird as it sounds, but okay. Well, I'm right-handed for a reason, so here we go. I'm like, I'm right-handed for a reason. Which is so like weird of me to say. Like, yep, that's how God made me. I do kind of sometimes draw with my left. Start doing things with my left hand more. Maybe I'll torch with my left hand. So I've started doing some things with my left hand more. Sometimes I'll drive with it. See a spot I didn't swipe through. I can come back through that. There's almost a temptation to not swipe it. A little explosion action, yeah. I like this little tree. I mean, it's a cool little Tannenbaum. Did it get fire actually in here? I could have sworn like I spent all this time trying to put stuff in here before. Yeah, I sense that spot right there in that one. I see you. I see you too. One out of there. And I know I'm like so particular about how I do all this. And I wonder if, because you are a middle spot, I'm really like getting in here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get one of these. Like, I have 3 of them, and they all have gas in them, and I've used them, and it's like the gas isn't really wanting to cooperate with me all the time. Metallic paints also will crackle, like that is. It's an issue with metallic paints. You get a crackle out of them. Okay. See? Well, I guess it's just what it's going to be. And then that'll just be fine. Or you a crackle also. You are a crackle also. I'm just going to take you out. Remove you also. Which it kind of makes a cool little effect when you do that. And I really want to see that a little bit more. Try to brazen that. Okay. Yeah, it's going to look good. It's Tannenbaum. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Tannenbaum. At least from here. Yeah. Let's see how it looks with like the black light on. I didn't even think about that. Like, where's the black light? Oops. Hi, black light. How's it going? I am like, I'm not really in the Christmas mood, I guess, or whatever. Who knows? What are Christmas colors? Yeah, I'm still wondering that. Ooh, I got a little bit of glow on one side. At least one side's kind of glowy. Um, yeah, at least one side's kind of glowy. I got that much going for me. So yeah, I'll take that. Today's the solstice. So it is the longest night of darkness that we have each year. I think is what they call it. You know, um, you're gonna start getting more light each day after today. It's the shortest day of the year. So I couldn't let the night go, without doing some sort of painting. Come on, geez, this is me. you know, Even if I'm kind of dark and gloomy about the whole season, doesn't mean we all have to be. And I know my dark and gloominess is more of a personal thing, and it's something I'm working on. And even in that, I have to remember that light breaks through darkness. It's weird. Like, you have all those things that you do as a kid. I can remember putting together like a little Santa village, let's say, or Christmas village underneath a tree in the house, um, ceramic pieces and everything. It was really fun for me to do. It was like a whole separate, thing with a train set. It was cool. There was like a little church that I had, and little lights and everything, and white lights on that tree. Um, So yeah, what are your Christmas colors? I don't even know what Christmas colors are these days. Um, where do you get your light from? We lose track a lot of times about the whole reasoning behind seasons. The Christian religion is dealt with Jesus' birth. You know, other areas and traditions, it's dealt with just changing of the temperatures and seasons. You know, some areas have Santa, others Krampus. Krampus. And you do have your other traditions, your Hanukkahs, your Kwanzas. There was a song. It was like a merry, happy, whatever you celebrate. There was a Sikh religion also. Sikh, yeah, religion also in this time. I'm sure everyone has something. Um, and even those who don't have. But yeah, it's really just a time to kind of slow down and reflect. It's not really that the year ends or begins, and in some parts of the world, it's Australia. I've always wondered, wanted to spend that holiday there just to see how it was, or South America, just to see, because it's warmer, summer there, where we turn into a winterized holiday. So yeah, even in the summer, it'd be a time to just kind of slow down and reflect. Yeah. So if you have a lot of light today because it's your longest day, or you have a little light because it's your shortest, if you have a lot of night or a little, wherever you are in the world, know that you are loved. And however you feel, know that light will break through your darkness. Until next time, my friends. Deuces. Deuces!